And to an on-the-ground stimulus story geared to the appeals to include new federal money for schools. We have a report on how bad economic times are playing out for one public school district in New York State. It's from special correspondent John Telenko of Learning Matters, which produces education stories for the NewsHour.
50 miles north of New York City, on the banks of the Hudson River, is the town of Peekskill, New York. It has 6 public schools and 3,000 students. Judith Johnson is superintendent.
This is small town. This is high school graduates primarily. It's very working class. The value of properties up here have dropped significantly. This town has no money for its schools.
Like a lot of school districts, Peekskill is feeling the effects of the recession. Its troubles began last June, when construction on its new middle school was nearly complete.
3/4 of the way through the building, the economy sours, and the electrician, a key member of the team, files for bankruptcy, walks off the campus. Brought the building to just about a halt. Here we sit with this beautiful building with state-of-the-art technology, music rooms, art studios, an incredible auditorium that is professional and can be rented out. It's all empty.
Construction plans were put on hold indefinitely. In the fall, Peekskill's troubles got worse. Down the river in New York City, Wall Street firms started to fail.
The state of our state is perilous.
New York's governor, David Paterson.
Wall Street was hit the hardest. Trillions of dollars of wealth have vanished right before our eyes. No one knows where the extent of this challenge will end.
Peekskill felt the effect immediately, losing 5% of the state funds expected for the next school year.
It rippled here in ways that are hard for people to imagine. We have the highest percentage of state aid contributing to our budget of any of the 57 cities in the state of New York. $4 million of my anticipated revenue disappears. So I don't have many places to go except to cut.
It's not just New York. States facing high unemployment, home foreclosures, and shrinking tax revenue are asking public schools to cut back.
The first principle that I put in place is try not to hurt children. Where can we go outside of the classroom to make $4 million in cuts?
Peekskill started with transportation, looking to eliminate some bus routes. But asking children to walk farther has consequences.
This is a hilly town, if you've had a chance to notice that. What I'm worried about is they walk these longer distances. They either won't bother in snowstorms, or it'll take forever to get here. The more you're in school, the more likely you are to be successful. The fewer days you come, the more the likelihood you won't be successful.
So why do you think the author wrote this story?
Cuts to school staff may be unavoidable.
Teachers have a lot of a fear of losing their jobs. Let's look at the second question.
Melissa Fidanza teaches 3rd grade.
No one really knows what's going on, and people hear rumors and people hear things that someone else has said, and then you start to obsess over that. So really, it's not knowing. That's the worst part. Okay, let's take a look at the 3rd question together.
I don't have a choice. I must cut teachers. We could be looking at 40 people, and we could be looking at, I'm going to say maybe most of those people would be teachers.
It's a worry for me because I've seen such gains in this building.
Principal Mary Foster could lose 4 of her 30 teachers.
Whenever there are cuts in staffing, class sizes rise, and it does matter. How many times does the teacher get to call on me? What kind of relationship can I have with my teacher? What kind of relationship can my teacher have with my parents? Every time you add a student, you add another piece that the teacher has responsibility for.
With fewer teachers, schools will have fewer courses to offer.
Okay, follow me. Down bow.
Music and art, after-school tutoring, and special programs in science could all disappear.
There are programs and services here that have cut. These children can't get in other places. I have to emphasize, we're talking about poor children. We're talking about trying to level the playing field and give them the same experiences that kids in the neighboring districts have.
The president's stimulus package could direct billions of dollars to schools over the next 2 years, intended to prevent layoffs and cuts to programs. Peekskill and districts like it will take whatever they can get, but they have concerns.
They've got to spread this money over 50 states. There are 14,000 school districts in this country. Almost every one of the school districts is facing some kind of financial crisis. I don't see an end to this.
The stimulus package is expected to reach President Obama's desk by the middle of the month. Soon after, teachers in Peekskill will know about layoffs.
For the record now, the House stimulus bill already passed had nearly $80 billion in additional funding for education. The Senate compromise cut that by half.